Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to polynomial functions. So in the yellow box is the definition of a polynomial function. This polynomial function is degree n. Notice that it's in general form, descending order. The leading coefficient, a sub n, is the highest power. Here are some examples of polynomials on the left and then not polynomials on the right. So go ahead and pause. Just talking about a couple of the polynomials that are not. This has a exponent that's a fraction. This has a negative exponent. So if we look back on the left, we have an x to the fifth, an x squared, a constant. All right, this is called the leading coefficient test. It identifies the end behavior of your graph. So the first thing we want to look at is the degree of the polynomial. If the degree is odd, you're going to have two different situations. When the graph rises on the right and falls on the left. When that occurs is when your leading coefficient is greater than 0. If you have the second situation, it's going to rise on the left and fall on the right, your leading coefficient is a negative, less than 0. All right, let's go to situation 2. When your degree is even, so something like an f of x is x squared, x to the fourth. I should come back over here. This would be something like f of x equals x cubed or x to the fifth. If your end behavior rises on the right and rises on the left, your leading coefficient will be greater than 0. The second one, it's going to fall on the right and fall on the left. That means your leading coefficient is a negative number. Your a number is negative. So this chart helps you to keep track of the leading coefficient test. So if the degree is odd and your leading coefficient is positive, it's going to fall on the left, rise on the right, and then you can continue reading those other 3 situations. All right, so let's go ahead and use leading coefficient test to determine the end behavior. So we first look for the degree. That degree is 3, which means it's an odd number. Then we look at the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is 1. That number is greater than 0 or positive. So if we go back up to this chart, odd and a positive tells me this is my end behavior. So I'm falling on the left and rising on the right. All right, second example. Here's my degree. The degree is 4, which is even. Leading coefficient is a negative 1, which that a sub n is a negative. So we go up to the chart. It's even and a negative. So this is our end behavior. What's telling us is it's falling on the left and falling on the right.